Hey everyone, I'm Asher, and I'm running the Blair registration drive for Merkle 2100. When I was young, maybe in 7th grade, I went to a museum in England that had an exhibit that showed all of the medieval torture techniques interrogators used on the people they kept captive. I was scared out of my mind to realize that people used to devise such elaborate mechanisms purely to cause pain. That stuck with me for the upcoming years, and I'd look back on it when I would read about the criminal justice system in my English class. When I read about the death penalty, solitary confinement, and the terrible conditions the average US prison held, I realized that those ancient medieval torture techniques weren't really either of those, but merely a different way to cause the same pain. Massively reforming the justice system and all of the unjust and terrible pain it caused became my most important topic. Later, I read up about the economic system of America, and I saw the terrible injustices it created and realized that the two topics were inherently interconnected, as they were to most other issues in America. Trying to change the economy became just as important to me. There are a lot of problems we're facing. In the aftermath of two of the worst recessions in recent history, we're likely to be worse off than our parents, with more student, housing, and medical debt than any generation before us. We're facing a forked road where we have an opportunity to rethink and reimagine the racist institutions that have harmed and discriminated against people of color for hundreds of years. Even right this second, we are nearing 200,000 American deaths from COVID-19 with no end in sight, and a climate crisis, burning thousands of acres of land in California and causing extreme damage that will only get worse as the globe gets warmer. But it's not hopeless. Together, we have the collective power to take on the worst parts of society and mold them to help all those living here rather than the opposite. We can get past the status quo and reach a society we can barely dream of today. But we need to act, and we need to act now. Waiting but a year could force the solutions to these problems to wait a generation. And right now, the best way, the most important way to make change is by voting. We have until October 13th to get every single senior in Montgomery County registered and ready to vote. That's less than a month. This can't be done with only one person. It has to be all of us. Every single senior that sees this needs to vote and register to vote right now. Every single person who has seniors who aren't registered to vote needs to give them the information and make sure they get it done by then. Every single person here who has senior friends needs to tell them to vote, and not only for president, but also for state and local elections. And if they say no, show them one of the 100 videos of a Congress race being decided by a coin toss. Show them one of the 1,000 races decided by a singular vote, because that's how much a singular vote from any of us can change. We can do this together. Let's get voting.